Hey, welcome to a new, fresh, and hot episode of Homebuyer Seminar. I'm Bill Gross, and we do this every week and talk about your first home or your next home. And I'm along here with my colleague and friend,
Patricia Castillo.
and she's in Fuego, but we have some hot stuff to talk about. And our good friend,
Shannon Lender.
he also may be hot, but we haven't talked much so far today. So, and I asked both of them what's going on in the marketplace, and she explained to me really what's happening in the new home builds, Patricia. That sounds like an interesting topic.
Yeah, actually, I had a client that was looking for a home that was under $1 million and something of a newer build. And when I say newer, like in the last 10 years. So I went to go check out some of the new build communities. For example, there's Lennar. They're a home builder in Riverside County, and they're building a community right now in Menifee. But because the market overall has started to soften in some areas, some buyers are kind of holding back, seeing if the interest rates are going to drop, seeing what's going to happen with the economy. This has also affected the home builders. And so as the homes sit with their inventory a little bit longer, they want to unload these homes. They want to get these homes off their books. And so they're offering really, really great incentives right now. In fact, you can get a 5-bedroom home. This is brand new construction for starting at about $700,000. So it just depends on what finishes you're going to get, things like that. Obviously, the more you upgrade, you're going to pay a little bit more, but you're still going to be somewhere under $100,000 for a 5-bedroom home. So this is a brand new build. This is a kicker though, because everybody's waiting for those 2.5% rates to come back, right? But because the home builders have their own in-house lenders, they're not governed by, Jerome Powell and the feds and what they're going to do with the interest rate. So they can offer these promotions in-house. And so right now, if anybody's listening to this and they're interested, you could get a 3.99% interest rate.
Wow.
And closing cost credit. So this is Lennar in Menifee, and it's a really nice community that is being built right now. So let's say I took a client there. It's better to go with your own realtor so that the realtor is negotiating on your behalf. The sales consultants that are working there are working for the builder, so they are looking to get the best price and terms for the builder. So as a buyer, you definitely want to have your own representation and have your own realtor go with you. And so this way you can get your best price and terms and negotiations. So you can negotiate everything from, the square footage of the home, whether you're getting 5 bedrooms. They have next gen homes also, which you can have like a JDU, which is an attached separate suite. Let's say for in-law quarters, maybe you have growing kids or aging parents, whatever the case may be. So you have some separation there, but everybody's basically under the same roof and the same property. And so the next gen suite has its own bedroom. It's like a mini house. It has a kitchenette, has a bedroom, bathroom, and own private entrance. So it's a really great opportunity for multi-generational living, what we're seeing right now anyway. I don't know about you, Shannon, but I'm seeing a lot of buyers that are coming into a home, where the parents are helping the kids or vice versa. Maybe the parents are selling their home and giving gift funds to the kids to purchase a home, and then the parents are living in the smaller room or the ADU. So this is a really great opportunity for somebody that's looking in the Riverside area. It's a newer community, so it's pretty nice.
First off,
and really good incentives. Go ahead.
Oh, my daughter's watching this episode in case they want to buy a house and give us the place to live. I started my career in, you would know this, in new home building. And one of the things you said is really true, which is you want to bring your own real estate agent in to represent you. They don't factor that into the sales price. It's not going to cost any more for the buyer.
Right.
because the seller's going to pay a commission. They agree a certain 1%, 2%, whatever it is, 3% commission to the buyer's agent. But they've already factored that in. They're not going to pay their own salesperson that money. But the salesperson who is your sales agent, if you walk in without an agent, they're graded on how high a price they get because they work for the builder, versus
Right.
an agent like Patricia is hired by you to represent you, has a legal responsibility to. And so what happens is when you go to a home builder, they want you to come in on your own and register without the agent, so they don't pay the commission. So if you hear Patricia point you that direction, you really don't want to go there without her, because they're going to say, and they'll say to the phone, oh yeah, Patricia, that's great, sign here, sign here. Next thing you know, they'll say, well, Patricia referred you, but we can't pay her anything. Well, that's not how it's supposed to work. And so definitely, if you're interested in seeing it, contact her and she'll make a time to go out and take you to see the property. But you really want somebody, because the home builders have their own lender, they use their own escrow, their own title, their own forms, there are different forms they use. Really, they stack everything against the buyer, and you need somebody to look at this and help you understand what the process is. So definitely I would urge you to bring your real estate agent with you the first time you go. Very, very important.
That's true. I mean, they have Belleza. That's one of the model homes that they're releasing right now. So you can actually get into you can get a 2-story, you can get a single story. Single stories are almost 3,000 square feet with 4 bedrooms.
Wow.
Now, any home that you want to buy, you can also add a bedroom. So you can, if it's a 4-bedroom, you can make it a 5 or 6 bedroom. So you can literally close escrow by the ending of August or September. That's how quickly they're, advancing with the building to get these homes off their books. And you can be in a nice brand new home by the ending of September with a 3.99% interest rate.
I can tell you guys, that rate, you're not going to get anywhere. That's an amazing rate. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, and the builder does it because they're paying money to make that rate lower. It's just part of their incentive package to get a property sold. They're selling a $700,000 house or $1 million house, and to take $20,000-$30,000 to lower the interest rate, it's just part of their marketing program. And so they do that because they realize that buyers kind of balance price and payments and interest rates and such, and that's part of the factors that you can consider in your package.
No, that's awesome. That's really awesome. And are they building a lot of these? I mean, are we getting an inventory boost?
Yeah, they have 1, 2, 3. They have 4 different models. So, there's like the single story. You can get 3 beds, 2 baths for about 1,550 square feet. So it all depends on the size that you're looking for, right? So I'm going to show you right now. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but let me see if I could pull this up on my screen. Let's see. This is, I'm trying to pull it up and see if I can share one of the pictures that I took today, where you could see I'll find it. I'm in my car right now, so I'm doing the call. I was coming back from the oh, here we go. Okay, can you see this property?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is the 5-bedroom here.
Nice.
So as you can see, it's these homes are also being built with solar. So you're going to have solar when you close escrow, which is nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
3.99%.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Okay. Call Patricia for details.
That's right. I'm here to help get you into a fantastic brand new home this year, right before the holidays.
So I think we all want to thank Shannon, who was hard at work apparently last week, finally dropping interest rates. Finally, because really it's not Jerome Powell, it's Shannon, the lender, that really is the key person here with this thing. And let me bring it in. a little more focus. Look at that direction where we're headed, huh?
Yep.
And for
Yep.
all the talk of all the volatility, for the last year and a half, it's about where it's been the whole time.
Yep.
And interest rates are more volatile than the stock market. I think the stock market also is about the same as it's been for last year. For all the talk about wild this, and everybody's scared and nervous, and every headline is home buyers won't buy because they're nervous, and sellers won't buy because they're nervous, and Zillow's telling people to be nervous, Redfin's telling them to be nervous. Look, if you can afford a house, buy a house. If you can't afford a house, don't buy a house.
Yeah, and this is the problem with people saying that they're going to wait. The problem is when you say you're going to wait, let's say you're waiting right now and this is the time. Well, let's say if you saw rates drop today, you got to submit your application to a lender. You got to have them process it, check your credit. You got to get with your agent, look at properties. Between today and by the time you're ready to actually submit an offer, it could be a few days, right? And at that point, where are rates going to be that day? So instead of waiting till rates go down, be ready, start looking for properties. And as soon as something like this happens, you already can pull the trigger right away. You didn't wait, you got yourself prepared, and now you can take advantage of this rate, right? Whoever's in escrow right now, we can lock in their rate today and get going. As opposed to a lot of people that they call me and they say, hey, I saw rates drop. Let's get the ball rolling. We get the ball rolling. Let's say, tomorrow, the next day, rates spike again. Hey, you missed out on that opportunity. So be ready now, because when things like this happen, especially you want to be in a position where you're at least submitting offers with your agent right at this moment.
Let me tell you something. If rates drop below 6%, like today they're at fixed rate mortgage is at the Fannie Mae 6.72, just below 7. It's been about
Right.
7 plus or minus the last year, one way or the other. Been a little bit below 7 the last month or so. If it dropped below 6, you're not going to get a loan officer on the phone. What happened? I remember when I was in the business in 1986 and rates went below 10 for the first time. I literally had a colleague who had a nervous breakdown. She curled up in a ball, and because the company wanted her to return phone calls, you're great at how quick you return them, and she couldn't keep up. And I remember I was returning phone calls till like 11 o'clock at night, and people would pick up. I'd say, "I'm sorry, I have to get back to you. You left a message, this morning. I'm just getting back through the pile here." There's only so much capacity in any business, and if the rates dropped, it would double the buyer's interest in buying houses. It won't double the number of houses for sale. It'll double the number of people looking for houses. You won't be able to buy it. Versus if you buy it now, if rates do go down, you probably could refinance and lower your payment then as well. And so that's why it looks like it's heading in the right direction. I think there's a lot of positive signs. And without getting into a political discussion, just looking at the rates are going down a little bit, the stock market's up a little bit. Whatever is going on economically seems to be positive. The jobs are looking good. Manufacturing is looking good. Certainly we don't seem headed towards Armageddon. If you can afford to buy a house, want to buy it, don't let rates may drop 2% a year from now stop you. Buy now and refinance 2 years when the rates drop.
You want to be in a position where you've already bought when the rates drop and you can just start refinancing instead of, like you said, Bill, let's say, hey, rates drop. You're going to be like everyone else that says, let me start the purchasing process now. Try to get my lender on the phone when I know everyone else is trying to call him.
Impossible.
I got 4 leads today in the last 2 hours, right? And hey, I got to get this thing going tonight, but you're going to be in that pool, and then you're going to be in a pool of buyers who are going to be offering on the same properties, possibly overbidding, and it's just at that point, you got a great rate, but the purchase price went up, however much percent because of everyone's bidding at the time. So I'm with Bill. You want to be in a position where you've already bought and then refinance, because you can date the rate, but you're going to marry that purchase price, actually.
Sharon, you just got married. You can't talk like that. When you're a single guy, you can say date the rate and marry the purchase price. You're a married guy. You can't talk like that no more. I'm sorry. There's no more dating. You're done dating.
It's true.
You're done. Yeah, let Patricia say it, or let somebody else say it. But you're newly married, you can for sure. I can almost say it. If my wife doesn't hear me, I'm in good shape. I can kind of say it, but I can get away with a little bit. I'm just not that nice a guy. But you can't. You're newly married. You can't for sure say that.
Got it.
But it's true. It is what he's saying. Date the rate is get the loan, get the house, and if rates go down, that's extra money. Your payment just went down for free. Ka-ching. $100, $200 a month, $300 a month.
Exactly. So yeah, this is good. This is a good sign, good news. I mean, everything that's going on in the world, I'm telling buyers right now, this is the time to get in because it's like, oh my God, we're on the brink of World War III. What's going on? And it's like, hey, you know what? Actually, this might be an opportunity. This is your opportunity. What is Warren Buffett saying? When people are fearful, be greedy. When people are greedy, be fearful. So
Exactly.
people right now, people are fearful. So this is the time to take advantage and take that opportunity.
I do a podcast every week and have articles by Zillow and Redfin and these other companies that want you to be scared and turn to them. And it's always about fear and emotion, whereas it's just numbers. I mean, again, if you can't afford a house, don't buy one. If you can afford a house and that's part of and you want to build wealth, buy the house. I've been telling you guys about a property I've had in escrow for a while. I'm getting ready to close mid-July. I can't wait. I can't wait to close on it. I don't care. I felt that way a month ago when it seemed like we're at war and there's planes flying around, and I feel all the more so now. I'm going to close the deal because the numbers make sense, and somebody's going to live in Los Angeles. It doesn't really matter. So
Yeah.
now maybe not downtown Los Angeles. That's a whole nother. What's going on? Patricia, you told me we have a listing and work on together in the lofts. And the protesting has been reduced, but still somewhat going on. But, it's amazing how of all pockets, I still have intense interest in my listings in the Valley. I have intense interest on a listing I have coming up in Hermosa Beach. But that downtown LA property, I thought we priced it well, but 100,000 below where it was a month or two ago. Crickets. Is it just me, or is that what's going on there? You're muted, Patricia. You're muted.
Sorry, there was traffic here. No, I think it's the area and just the kind of the climate of the area. I was talking to another EXP Realty agent. She has a listing in Pacoima. So San Fernando Valley is pretty hot right now. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's not
It's like 120 degrees hot. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
it's not a home that's updated or upgraded, but she priced it at $625. One of my clients was interested in it. He's an investor, and he said, well, let's see where the offers are at right now. So I had a conversation with the listing agent, and she says she has multiple offers. She's well over the list price.
Wow.
And she already went pending in less than 10 days.
Wow.
Right. So, and if you look on Zillow, she has over 2,000 views and I don't know how many hundreds of saves. Right. So
Wow.
it depends on the area. I mean, she got so many calls. She said, if you're going to send me an offer, make sure it's she's over 80,000 over her list price.
Now imagine when rates drop at 6%, what's going to happen then? If you're already getting this kind of activity right now,
Yeah.
my God, imagine when rates drop even more, guys, what's going to happen?
But it's based on different areas, right? You hear stories about certain areas that aren't doing well, like Dallas and Fort Lauderdale that ran up so much in the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
But really, they're just adjusting still above where they otherwise would be, adjusting you back some of that profit. What do you see in the downtown LA area? Because I just drove through, I was in a meeting there yesterday. It seemed like things are pretty calm now compared to before. But it seems like the business level there was down. We're a beautiful cafe, Bread Lounge. I don't know if you've ever been there. I just, I can't eat the food there because it's not kosher and we keep kosher. But they make the bread. It's like a huge bakery, but you can see in the making the bakery, and they have, breads and coffee and tea and drinks and stuff. But phenomenal little restaurant. But it was not so filled up. So is that area coming back? What do you see downtown area in particular? Any update you have? What are your thoughts?
I mean, obviously with everything that's going on with the immigration raids right now, it's the traffic in terms of like people count, it's definitely lower.
The number of people at the businesses, you can just tell, like no traffic, parking wasn't a problem.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up in LA, but also when I was in school, like high school, elementary school, my mom would take us shopping to Santee Street and all of the vendors there that were selling clothes because,
Empty.
there's nothing there. I mean, it's sad because a lot of businesses are suffering. And in fact, one of the business owners in my neighborhood, the population there and demographics, it's primarily Latino in Downey. And so he made a video and said, hey guys, we need your support right now. Small businesses are suffering so much. Even if you're going to order out, he owns a couple of restaurants in Downey. So he said, even if you guys are going to order out, just place an order any size because it's helping. They're losing a lot of customers right now. So yeah, I think in downtown for sure, it's just not the same traffic that we're used to seeing.
The business that you and I were working with had an office downtown, and we had a tenant who leased the office space. And so we've been looking for new space, and the place we had fell out. So we're kind of working virtually. And we've been having meetings, our staff meeting once a week, and we've been picking different businesses down there. There's some really neat restaurants, really neat coffee places. I'm a coffee snob. Really neat coffee places in downtown. So many nice little places. And I've driven through there a million times and never really paid attention. And so we're trying to support it by, even though maybe we would have the meeting in Westlake because two of us live here, or maybe in, I think one of the ladies lives in Pico Rivera, maybe there. We decided let's continue downtown to support it and pick a different restaurant each week to meet at, and it's been kind of fun to learn the places there and see what goes on. But you can definitely tell the business is off a bit, but some really neat businesses, I think. And the lots we have, the listing have really a neat property. It's just unfortunately a bad time, and hopefully it'll pass and we'll get back on track there.
Yeah. I mean, it's in a great location. You have so many restaurants around there, businesses.
Yeah.
It's a great live workspace for a professional or maybe a younger college student that's just out of graduated and getting their first well-paying job. It's a good location in downtown, I think.
I did a meeting earlier today with a real estate person who's downtown. With a magnificent view. I'm like, where are you? I'm downtown. It's like amazing
Yeah.
view, and there's office space available there. That look, it's a tough market, but that's the opportunity to if your business is good. In this case, they're doing well. They took a nice office space with a magnificent view from. I don't know how high up they were, but it was quite impressive. So, well, good. Well, let's support the local businesses and hope they work their way out here. Cool. Okay, so real estate's hot. This is summertime Los Angeles, man. When you said Pacoima is hot as a market, it's hot. Any open houses or any special real estate events or any special properties you want to promote, Patricia?
Well, why don't we show yours? Why don't we show this listing? I think we showed it last week, but
the loft.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it's on the 5th floor, and it's really like an artsy kind of deco space. Has nice large windows, so you have a full view of the Los Angeles city. And you have a soak tub in the bathroom, and it's just a lot of light in there, so it's a really great space. And look at those windows. I mean, you have several windows this size, so I like that. So it's
what's the price?
Yeah. What's that?
What's
the purchase price?
1.1
million.
Oh, so you can still qualify FHA on that one. It's under the loan limits.
But it's a condo.
It's a condo? It's not FHA approved?
Yeah, I don't think it's FHA approved. I'm pretty sure it's not.
Okay.
Yeah, because a lot of these properties, a lot of the properties in the lofts are people own businesses down there, and I know a lot of people used to have commute in from suburbs, and as years went by, the traffic got harder and harder, and they built these lofts. So a lot of the people, the current owner, he lived elsewhere, but he had a loft, so there were nights that he had to work late or had a late meeting, he could stay here. So there's a lot of people who use it as a second, not a second home in the traditional sense, but as a workspace to have, or a place to have employees stay when they came in to visit. But really, really neat area. Well, I'm just saying, I think more people live there, either use it and work. Like if you're in the fashion business and you do design work and your customers are at the Fashion Mart, you might live there and work and then go in and visit various customers. but then you have to design your stuff. So this is a loft where you could have somebody come into your unit, and it's kind of designed where you could have a work area that you could invite people to, and there's beautiful pool area, meeting area. So again, it's a loft style workspace, workspace. So it's designed for somebody who's gonna, like a small business person might use that as their home office, but it's rather just a bedroom is kind of like a loftier area. And for people who need to do work, like if you're doing sample, of clothing, you can't just work in a bedroom. You need a little more room, and you have glue and paint and stuff. So it's kind of a loft is kind of more suitable for it's more open. I think I'm trying to get a good shot of a picture that kind of shows, but you can just see higher ceilings, and just the rooms are wider. They're just open, kind of open floor plan.
It's very spacious. Yeah.
And so
And this one he lived. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Bill.
He lived in it as a second home, but I'm saying there are people who have these same spaces, and it's like all fashion, like all samples of their clothes, or it's all pictures of graphics that they do, or it's all their work products. So you can do both. It's a loft, so they allow workspace as well as living
Nice. Well, for any of those business owners that are first-time home buyers, and I know taxes are a big issue for a lot of these business owners, you probably write off a lot. There are programs out there that you can use bank statements. You can even get a P&L from your CPA and omit those taxes from qualifying. Obviously, you need to have more down payment, but that's an option. Another option is you can go conventional and only show 1 year tax return. So if you just want to bite the bullet for 2024, actually claim your income on that year, as long as you've been in business for, I think, was it 3 to 5 years, you can just use 1 year tax return instead of the 2 years that FHA requires. So you can either go conventional and show your taxes for just 2024, or if you don't want to show your taxes at all, you can go bank statement route where just get your last 12-month bank statements. They average out your deposits minus your expenses. That's your income. Or you don't want to show bank statements at all, you can go profit and loss, have a CPA sign off on it. You are going to have to put more down. I think it's like 20% down, but you avoid paying Uncle Sam that money and just put that money towards your equity. So for any business owners out there who want to get qualified without showing their tax returns, that's a way you can do it.
There you go.
Yeah.
And if that's unique, call Shannon the lender. Shannon, how do they get a hold of you?
Yep. 661-317-8484 or my Instagram, FUND Fund with Shannon.
Okay, Fund with Shannon.
And there's no dating, there's no fun on that side. No more.
No, Shannon, that fun's over, buddy. I'm just letting you know right now. Those days are over. Okay. And I'm just curious, can your wife hear this when you're recording this? Is she around?
Yeah, when she's here.
Maybe give me her number and I'll send a recording to her so she can hear what you have to say. How's that?
Yeah. I know.
So how big you talk then?
I'll be quiet. She knows I'm recording. She doesn't know what I'm recording, but she just knows I'm
Okay,
on
well,
the Zoom call.
Okay, well, give me her cell phone. I'll send her a copy that way she'll see how big you talk when she's not around. But I'm not going to offer you that.
Movies anymore.
Yeah, I'm not going to give my wife's cell phone. That's not an option. Patricia, if someone want to get a hold of you to see properties in, was it Murrieta, the Lennar properties you mentioned, or other property? Menifee. What's the best way to get a hold of you?
My cell number 323-365-9909.
Fantastic. I'm Bill Gross at Bill Gross Probate as always. And we do this every week. If we can help in any way, please reach out. Thanks for being here. If you like this, like it, send a comment, question. We'll answer as best we can. And as always, make today your best day ever. Thanks.